Howdy, I'm Mac, and today we're going to be designing our first t-shirts for our new print-on-demand store. I also want to go over a couple tips that can help you overcome designer's block if you ever run into that while you're designing. I experienced that a little bit while I was designing these, and there's definitely some tools you can use to overcome that. So let's jump right in. Like I said in the last episode, our brand is focused on comfortable, durable, sustainable t-shirts and sweatshirts that allow you to kind of express your inner child. And I think that's a fun theme that we can play around with quite a bit. So what I want to do is jump into some research and get some inspiration for our designs. Maybe we can look at other t-shirt brands that we like, pick out some colors, fonts, that kind of thing that'll help us as we're doing our first designs. Okay, let's go for it. So I'm using this tool here called PureRef for keeping images and references in one place. I'll put a link to that in the description. I'm just grabbing some images here from a couple different brands I like, so I can kind of scan through them all in one place to get a sense of their colors and fonts and that kind of thing. I already know I want this to be a dinosaur design, and I think I'm going to focus on the Apatosaurus or Brontosaurus. Basically just a dinosaur with a long neck. I don't really know what the difference is between those two, but I don't think it's that important for this design because it's going to be kind of stylized. I want a dinosaur design that's fun, but also kind of laid back. Kind of fits that skater or surfer aesthetic that I kind of like in the t-shirts that I buy. A dinosaur design that I would actually want to wear and not just my 4-year-old kid. And after a lot of trial and error, I kind of found this shape that I'm liking. So I really like how we came up with this composition for our design here. It's got kind of this round circular image, and then we layer the word dwell on top. That gives it kind of a deeper sense of meaning, because as humans, we're also dwelling on the same earth that this dinosaur did, and kind of this idea that we should be respecting our home, you know, the same way the dinosaurs did. For the next design, I really want to kind of play around with the Stegosaurus because the silhouette of that dinosaur looks really cool, and I think it could be fun to use on one of our designs. This drawing took way longer, and I couldn't quite find a drawing that I was happy with until I decided to try a different style. This is where I was actually getting some designer's block because I just got stuck in this rut of drawing the same thing over and over and over again. And in order to pull myself out of that, I used a technique that I'll use often, which is basically just research and inspiration. So it's the same kind of thing we were doing in the beginning, but it's great if you're finding yourself doing the same thing over and over and you just don't know what else to try. You know, maybe it's time to take a breather, look at some reference images, find some other artists you like, and kind of just open up your mind to some different style choices or color options. So what I did here was I thought that Matisse's artwork could be a really great inspiration, and especially his cutout compositions, where he cut out paper and kind of layered them in different interesting ways. The kind of bold use of color and the simple use of shapes, I felt like could be great for this kind of theme. Soon after using this technique, I really started to have fun with the design, and it became much more fluid and natural for me to draw. The Matisse cutouts kind of gave me this idea of using negative space as part of the composition, and I played around with that quite a bit in different ways and had a lot of fun with it. Eventually, I came up with a few different color options. In fact, there were so many different color options, it was kind of just this whirlwind, and I didn't know which ones looked better than the others. So I stepped away, and when I came back, I was a little more objective about which ones I liked. I still really liked a couple of them, and so I think for this design, I'm actually going to give a couple different options for the customer to choose between. And finally, I didn't want to launch this brand without having a robot in the initial lineup of designs. So let's jump in and see if we can sketch something that we like. I came upon this photo of a vintage toy robot, and I really like it, so I'm gonna see what kind of drawings I can come up with based on that. So this one was a lot of fun, and I really like this drawing. I kind of have this comic book line with bold outlines on it that I like. And my wife came up with the idea to add a rainbow to the screen on the robot. And I really liked that, so I gotta give her credit for that because I think it adds to the overall fun vibe of this design. So I'm really happy with these 3 designs. I think they're gonna look great on shirts, and I can't wait to see them printed so I can try it on. Now the next step is to actually find a print-on-demand company, link that up with our website, and actually start selling our designs. And that's gonna be in our next video right here.